How can we be healthy now that Lent's over? Well, BBC's Nina Dasgupta interviewed plant-based health coach Vanessa Sturman to find out if it's easy to be healthy on a plant-based diet. For example, do you get enough essential nutrients like protein?
There's actually protein in all plants, which is great news. And then you've got certain plants that have got more protein in, whether that's tofu or tempeh. So tempeh is fermented soybeans. You've got all your legumes, you've got mushrooms, you've got nuts, you've got chia seeds. All of these have got loads of protein in. So you can still have a really high protein diet. What's really wonderful to remember is that our good gut bacteria feed off fiber. So everyone talks a lot about gut health and I want to get rid of my bloating and how can I get the benefits of good gut health like great focus and great skin. We need to feed our good gut bacteria and they eat fiber, which comes from plants. So we can have more energy, more glow. Fiber makes you really full as well. So it actually makes it easier to maintain a healthy weight when we eat more plant-based foods. And to get the benefit, and here's the great news, you don't have to go fully plant-based. So if you think, I just want to eat a bit more of this stuff and see how it goes and enjoy more plant-based food, don't put pressure on yourself to go fully plant-based. Just say, I'm going to get more of this amazing food into my diet and get some of the wonderful benefits.
Now, expense. I am going to ask this because although I do know when I've been going into certain cheaper supermarkets, I'm not going to mention like the German one, which is very near me. What about the expense of going to more of a plant-based diet? You know, when people are talking about the cost of living, and I know it's a perception of it can be expensive, but is that really the case when it comes down to it?
It's not the case, but you can have that perception. So there's a few things that could give it that perception, such as there are lots of products around. You know, you might get, a product that's a load of a blend of superfoods. It's a wonderful product, but it might cost you more than you're expecting. You might think, goodness, being healthy is really expensive, or being plant-based is expensive, when a lot of the things that might be in that blend, whether that's spirulina or chlorella, those are types of algae that are very good for you and high in nutrients, and people put them in their smoothies. You can buy them separately a lot cheaper. And a lot of the foods that we eat when we are whole food plant-based are things like tofu, beans, vegetables, fruit, things in more of their whole form. And those are actually often much cheaper than meat. But there are still going to be products that will be more expensive, but that's not necessarily to do with them being plant-based. It might be to do with them being higher quality. So you could get some very cheap chocolate that's very low quality, and when you start going to the very high quality chocolate that is perhaps, raw cacao, so that's much more as it comes from the cacao plant, which makes chocolate, that might be more expensive purely because it's a higher quality product. But we don't want to be eating 20 bars of them anyway. But in general, you can do this probably cheaper than you were eating before.
So where would you say would be the best place to start? So say if I wanted to sort of go more plant-based and I decided, right, I'm going to be more plant-based, I'm going to go shopping on tomorrow, I'm going to go and buy a load of food or start my plant-based or my more plant-based diet. What would you say are kind of easy changes to encourage things into your diet rather than kind of making it really complicated for yourself?
Yeah, great. And that is absolutely the key, just doing small changes. So the first thing I'd say is to look at your plate and say to yourself, could I get more fruit or veg onto that plate? And the answer 99% of the time will probably be yes. So it could be, right, I'm going to get an extra portion of broccoli on. If I'm having breakfast or avocado on toast, I'm going to roast some extra tomatoes or saute some garlic mushrooms to go with it. Or if I'm having, even if I'm having some chocolate or a snack, I'm going to add a banana. I'm going to add a satsuma. So there's this sort of just adding more fruit and veg. And then it's going to be little things like tweaking what you've already got. Can I add, a handful of beans onto that? Or every family, I think, tends to have their favorite curry recipe. And I think, well, actually, could you get chickpeas into that instead of chicken, but with all the lovely herbs and spices that you've already got, which are great for the gut and great for your health as well. But you're just making that very small change in terms of the protein that you've got in it.
Sounds good, doesn't it? It makes a lot of sense. That was Vanessa Sturman, plant-based health coach, on how to be healthier at Easter. And you're allowed a bit of chocolate. It's the